The pilot's voice comes over the intercom system. Here we go. I squint at nothing and lose my breath as a 52-foot war machine levels, the whopping of its blades indicating our descent. Every shooter on board crouches rearward, thighs burning, anticipating touchdown. It's exactly 6:14 a.m. Team leader off, I say. I unplugged my headset's cable from the aircraft's intercom system. According to our procedure, none of us are to unhook our safety lines from the floor's D-rings until the aircraft is settled on the ground. But I choose not to follow procedure. Once we hit the ground, I want nothing slowing me down. The aircraft bucks, flaring to land in the snow. Its engines howl as the grainy snow flushes through the windows and ramp. The icy air shocks my lungs and adrenalizes my body. My vision blurs as the bird begins to vibrate. This is it. We are here to get our man out, wherever he is. I shut my eyes, waiting to feel the wheels hit the ground. The right door gunner spots something below him. A dirty man in a ski jacket and plastic shoes has a rocket-propelled grenade launcher aimed at us. I've got an RPG, 2 o'clock! The door gunner leans into his minigun's trigger. The M134 Gatling gun belches, accompanied by 3 rounds from the aircraft's M60 machine gun in the rear. Their tandem fury jolts me. The machine guns riddle the Arab's body, pinning him against a boulder, but not before he launches the RPG. Our gunners are too late. I hear the air tearing as a rocket-propelled grenade screams toward us. The detonating shape charge rips into the aircraft's right engine, jolting the helicopter. A second RPG pierces the windshield glass, detonating inside and spraying hot metal throughout the cockpit. The helicopter falls with a queasy rush. In an instant, nearly 50,000 pounds of rubber, steel, and American flesh crash to the earth. I wrote 2 wars to create awareness about the wars that soldiers face, both the very physical war deployed to combat, where I fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, and also the spiritual and emotional wars that every soldier carries home with him. 2 Wars begins with a small band of Army Rangers aboard a Chinook helicopter en route to a 10,000-foot mountain. We had just received a distress signal, a call for help, to rescue a missing-in-action Navy SEAL who had fallen out of the back of his Chinook helicopter on top of this 10,000-foot mountain. The story then transitions to my time as a teenager, eagerly awaiting a call to West Point to pursue my dream of becoming a warrior. 4 years later, I became an infantry officer in the United States Army, and 2 weeks after that, I was married to my high school sweetheart. Life was good. A few years later, as my wife and I were expecting the birth of our firstborn child, 9/11 happened. And within a couple of months, I found myself on a plane to Afghanistan to meet our nation's enemies. It was in Afghanistan that I got the distress call to rescue this Navy SEAL, and his name was Neil Roberts. I had no way of knowing that we would be shot down on top of that 10,000-foot mountain, and that what would ensue would be a very bloody battle where we sacrificed many more lives in order to bring him home. But we brought him home. It was after I returned home from this physical war in Afghanistan and then again in Iraq that I started to experience another kind of war in my own mind, against an enemy that I couldn't see, against myself. The story also explores my fight, my battle with post-traumatic stress disorder, and what it's like to live through that and to come out on the other side. 2 Wars is meant to be a tribute to the men who fought on Takur Ghar, to the families who love them, and to the one who stands ready to rescue us all, no matter how high the climb. My hope is that this book provides for you a new perspective, not only on what our veterans face when they fight overseas, but also what so many of us have experienced once we come home.